About the first topic, Lagertha in Viking series. Because last time in the video I talked about this series because again recently they were showing this on Netflix. That's why I talked about it. And this time I'm going to talk about only Lagertha character because this character was interesting, especially from the beginning of the series in season 1 as a wife and also as a powerful person. It was very interesting for me. At first, they have shown her as a shield maiden, right? And it was interesting that she is powerful and at the same time a lovely wife. And the relation she had with Ragnar reminded me of Spartacus and his wife somehow in that series. But later we understood the differences. There were big differences. And also, as I said, the powerful character that she had was interesting. But later in the series, it was totally ruined. And I'm going to talk about it briefly. So, as I said, at first it started very good. Then everything started from the time that Ragnar had a mistress. And from that moment, Lagertha had to decide whether she should continue with Ragnar as his wife or she should be separated. So it was a big decision for her. And in any way, it would be understandable. So she decided to be separated. We respect her decision. In that case, no problem with that, because she was a proud person. So it was not far from imagination that she wouldn't accept Ragnar to have a second wife even after her. And at the same time, it seemed to be a big mistake because if she stayed with Ragnar, first of all, we understood from the series that Ragnar loved her. So it was a pure love and we could understand it. And about his mistress, it was a kind of lost thing, we could say. But anyway, because if she stayed with him in that scenario, even that mistress could remain as a mistress, not a queen, So she lost her position. And let's say, for example, she didn't care about positions or such things like to be a queen or not. But later in the series, it was a contradiction. You would see how she would fight for her positions. So, for example, when she lost her control on on a certain land, we saw that how she wanted to take it back. And again, even spoiled. But by the way, the things I'm going to say, it contains so many spoilers. If you guys want to watch the series from the beginning, please skip to the next topic. But she even killed that mistress later to get back the lands, not just because she stole her husband from her. So it was a big contradiction. Okay, if you wanted to feel this way, why you even got separated and why you just left that your farms and those places easily, from the beginning. It was a big contradictions. And about contradictory characters, we talked about it before related to this series anyway. That it was not just about Lagertha, it was for all the characters. It was the weakness of the writings. So we talked about it before. And for Lagertha, there was no exceptional case. So, and what else can I say about this? Yes, for this stage, we could say, for example, until this part, everything was fine. Like, okay, she decided to leave Ragnar and everything about this character was interesting. I loved watching her, especially the actress played very well. And also Ragnar's actor, he played also very good. But, in the next series, next seasons, everything changed, and I didn't like that character anymore because you couldn't understand this character and what's the reason for the things that she's doing. And again, as I told you, it's related to the weakness of the writers, and maybe intentionally they did some things. For example, suddenly they changed Lagertha into a kind of lesbian feminist. So that part we know why they do these things. It is related to that BS triangle of puppet masters that we talked about before, and it contained two sides of it. It just just one character, you see, about feminism and about homosexual. So they integrated all of that into Lagertha, and from that point, Lagertha's character just didn't make sense anymore. So that was, I think, the disadvantage of what they did. And for example, like, it was fine to show Lagertha as a leader. I would like that idea, especially if after Ragnar's passing, it would be such a good idea to do that, to see how things are under Lagertha's leadership. For example, how would be even also how people would react to a woman as a leader. That would be interesting. But what they've shown, for example, we look at the guards of personal guards of Lagertha, we see all of them are women. We look at the high rank personals around Lagertha, all of them are women. So it was very bad to show it that way, because it shows that there's no more equality between genders. We are kind of taking revenge on men in this manner, which was far from the Lagertha's character that they shown in the first season. So that was such a turn off for sure. And you saw also, instead of for her to choose a king or choose a man to continue for example, their roles in the lands and how people look at them, she chose another woman. And again, it was strange how suddenly she has changed her sexual orientation just like that. And again, as I told you, maybe because of those brainwash that we expect from the BS triangle. But the worst part, I think, more than these things that I mentioned, again, was related to this contradictory character, because you like to have a solid personality for the characters in your movies. And unfortunately, it didn't happen for Lagertha. So for you guys who asked me about Lagertha in this series, that when I posted that video, it was for you. And to sum up, I would say, yes, I liked Lagertha's character. I loved it so much in the first season, but after that point that they have decided to just convey some messages through her, they totally ruined her character.